Hi, y'all. Welcome. If you're new here, I'm so happy to have you. And if to my pages and subscribers, welcome my baby dinosaurs. And that's what I call my subscribers. If you are new here, I'm so happy to have you. And so for today's video, we're going to be talking about the COVID-19 pandemic using my tarot cards and my guide to talk about some questions. If you want to know and you're interested in what I'll be covering in this video, do not worry. I have all the questions that I will be covering, at least the main ones, in the description below. And some of them will be also taken from the live chat as well. And so thank you all for being here with me. I just want to let you guys know this is being live streamed on February 8th, 2021 at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And this is just for entertainment purposes only and for educational purposes only as well. For YouTube purposes, I am not a licensed medical professional. For all COVID-19 information, I linked it in the description below. And so we have here Trump investigation and linked in the description as well. I was just giving you like a little overview of what's happening there. We have two sources from CNN and one from NPR. On February 8th, which is today, so all these investigations opened up 4 hours ago when I was looking at it. It said Trump tells aide he thinks he will be acquitted as he remains fixated on, quote, accountability for GOP lawmakers who voted to impeach him. Then another investigation opened up into Georgia's Secretary of State office launched an investigation into Trump's phone call. And then what also opened up today was House Democrats renew investigation into Trump, our COVID-19 response. And so the reason why I'm bringing that up is because I talked about Trump was most likely to be impeached for a third time. And that's mostly because of, if it's not impeachment, it's certainly humanitarian, like inhumane treatment. So just be surprised about that. I also want to thank you all so much for everything you have done for me, sending me love, light, Reiki, checking up on me. I really appreciate it. I love you guys. I actually got this little COVID gun. Let me just show you right now. I'm going to check my temperature. Yeah, so it's 95.9. So it's pretty accurate. It seems to be pretty good. So everyone, thank you for coming. I love you. I'm feeling all right. What I mostly have right now is just the remaining cough. Some active reflux. It's not going away. I still don't smell or taste. And I'm having trouble breathing, but other than that, I am feeling a little bit better. So yeah. All right, so for our very first question is, will this be a last COVID pandemic? Is there more coming? Because I don't know if you guys know this, but in 2019, excuse me, in 2019 in November, they found the first case in China for COVID. But however, that's not the first case. The first case actually stemmed back all the way to 2000. So that's why, a little disease like 2000, almost a decade before, is pretty significant because it causes a major event like this. So that's why I'm talking about why will this be our last pandemic. And I honestly, truly think, it will not be our last pandemic. I mean, I already had that intuitively, but I want to take a look at that. Will this be our last COVID-19 pandemic? Will there be any more? Okay. Will this be our last COVID pandemic? Oh, that's my COVID card. Okay, so it's pretty significant. Humans, some of them have been wiped out by pandemic, epidemic, and diseases. However, some of them also have not. Some of them we see as humanity, we were able to conquer and find cures and vaccines and everything like that, and we were able to eradicate some of them. Some of them are still remaining. Some of them we were unable to defeat as humanity. And so some of those will end up coming back to haunt us. Right now, presently, a lot of you guys all know this. This is my COVID-19 card, Judgment. You can clearly see that there's an ambulance. This is in the present, which tells me that this is right now. What's obviously no brainer, right? Sorry, there's like a crystal on the table. We also have here as well as we have the Great Awakening. So this is all about people undergoing a spiritual change, this heightened level, an advancement in healthcare and everything like that. So if you don't see any form of healthcare improvement in your country, it basically tells you ahead of time that there will indeed be another pandemic. And this doesn't take a psychic or someone who does tarot cards to know that. That's just self-explanatory. But the tarot cards here are emphasizing that ideology here. Now we do have here, there are a couple that are hidden. And this is what worries me the most. There are a couple more strands of COVID that may happen in the near future. Now, will we all live to see it? I don't know. But what I can tell you is that there are 3 different variants that are hidden that we are unaware of. And, I was thinking about this for quite a while. The reason why I wanted to do this video was I kept thinking, I'm like, 10 years later, we're going to have another COVID pandemic. And I intuitively kind of knew that, but I wanted to kind of see if there's any truth to it, so to speak. So if you want to know what kind of questions I'm covering, you guys can find all this in the description below. So now the next question that we're asking is, with global warming changing the climate, new viruses, bacteria, and worms that are frozen in ice from thousands and thousands of years ago are they ticking time bomb for humanity? And so that's why it's very important for us to really focus and emphasize that climate change is a big deal. Not only because it destroys our climate, but it also there's other things hiding in that. Just like animals, right? Animals can be revived if it's able to survive the cold temperatures and be preserved properly. And so that's what's really significant. That's what's really important here. So let's take a look. Spirits and angels tell me in the ice caps, are there any viruses, bacteria, worms that we need to be aware of that was being buried that may resurface back onto the planet Earth and will be devastating to humanity as a whole? Okay. All right, what else do you have to say, Spirit? Okay. Is there anything else that you would like to say? I just saw the tower card. That's pretty significant. Okay. And then we have here. Where's the card? Hold on. The card just flipped. Here it is. There it is. There you go. All right. Interesting. Interesting enough. So we have here, or we have almost like the conservative Republican side. So it feels like if the time was to come for another pandemic, it will be at the time of another Republican president or another conservative-like figure, kind of along the lines of Donald Trump and Ronald Reagan. We do have here again, it's all about justice. It's really all about when the thing comes, it's supposed to highlight, the brand new healthcare system. Show the world that this healthcare system is really important in other countries who do it successfully, like New Zealand, but in places like the United States, the healthcare system may be crap. And so it kind of almost highlights the important aspect of what countries need to really work on going forward. And so the response of that, it really depends on how well the healthcare system is. And so I do see the next one will come in a time of a conservative, whether a conservative leader, conservative thinking. Again, here it's not a no-brainer. It's not a surprise. It's something that is pretty well expected. It feels like as if a lot of scientists are aware of the danger of the ice cap melting as it exposes humanity, them getting more exposed to viruses and stuff like that. And here we have it will be a pretty deadly one, but it really comes down to is who is in charge of the country at the time when this new pandemic comes. And this is talking about this is talking worldwide, global. It's not talking about the United States in general. It's talking about global. So this could be any other country. And the country could be the one that ruins it all. But here we have a vaccine. So we will have vaccines already for this virus already pre-set up. So it does look like scientists are working on this. However, the problem is whether or not people are going to go and take these vaccines. That's a whole nother issue. It looks like it feels like the same way masks were like a political issue. It looks like vaccines will be a political issue going forward. And it's again because people are spreading misinformation about this vaccine. And so don't be surprised, and they're gonna be blaming Bill Gates and kind of like something kind of along the type of attitudes and those type of QAnon conspiracies that they are pushing. So it does look like there will be something that's coming, but it looks like scientists are aware of it and they are making vaccines ahead of time. Now, is the melting ice cap be where the next pandemic lies? So that's a whole nother question that we did not cover. I did say it will happen, but let's just take a more of a deeper inside look at where that may be heading. Towards the end of the video, we'll be getting more into COVID and the kind of effect of COVID, but this is just part one. If you guys do like this video, definitely check out my last video, which is the impeachment trial. Definitely do that. I was unable to get enough results because no one had really commented or did the actual meditation. So if you do want to do the meditation, it will be greatly appreciated. All right, so let's look at this. Excuse me. All right, Spirits and Angels tell me what the next pandemic around the world will come from the ice cap melting. Will the next pandemic come from the ice cap melting? Okay. Okay. So it looks like, I mean, it really looks like, if I'm being completely honest, it's climate change here. Because look in the background, right? It's windy and stuff like that. But look at the trees. Like the wind is blowing the trees, almost like a hurricane type. And it's a lot of wind, what tells me, and this is a lot of blue. What tells me it's just the ice glaciers, right? It's getting warmer and warmer. And it tells me a lot of these viruses, a lot of these like bacteria are all hidden. A lot of them are being buried right now. Right? Love you too, Katrina. Love you all, guys. I love you guys. Thank you for coming. And we also have here, again, there's a lot of opportunities, a lot of things that could potentially can be emerged from these ice caps. So whatever happens, it does look like there will be a lot of things that it may be as the biggest pandemic of all, which it could also be pointed to. There could be all 7 pandemics all in one, which is going to be called the epic pandemic, I guess, so to speak. So that could be quite interesting to see how that will play out as well. So for our next question is, will the next pandemic be in a lab? Will it be caused by biowarfare? Will it be caused by leaking from a lab? So let's take a look at that. All right, Spirits and Angels, tell me, will the next pandemic be in a lab? Okay, so the first card is the decision. It can happen. It's a possibility, but it's not a possibility. Almost best part is 50-50, so to speak. Now, will it be caused by biowarfare? A lot of these countries now are now investing in no longer killing innocent people via like guns or like battlefields. It's now going to be used in how much and how fast can you wipe out a civilization just using biowarfare. The Spirits and Angels tell me, will the next pandemic be caused by biowarfare? Okay. Again, we have, okay, so it's divine timing. This thing is indeed divine timing here. We have, it can go either way. We have here, there's a lot of possibilities. There's a lot of viruses that could be used either from a lab, either from biowarfare, but I don't feel like it's necessarily war. I feel like they're just working on some of these like viruses just to kind of find a cure ahead of time. But it looks like some of them, again, there might be another leakage and that they're unable to contain the virus or the worm or whatever type of entity that they have. It doesn't look like they're going to be able to contain this. And it's, again, this is, a lot of you guys know this is my Mike Pence card, which talks about very conservative. It's like a very conservative card, at least for me. And it's telling me, again, this will happen under a conservative leader. Now, this doesn't necessarily mean a conservative under, the United States. It could necessarily be China. It could be Russia. It could be any of those countries. But it's within a matter of time of it happening. Right now, we're in the past. So now this could necessarily mean that this is in the past and that this is exactly what ended up happening. Well, that's a whole nother issue that we will have to focus on when we do get there. So now the next question that we'll getting to is, will the bubonic plague make a comeback? Thank you, Katrina. I'm feeling a little bit better, but not really. Thank you for asking. Will the bubonic plague make a comeback? Spirits and angels tell me, will the bubonic plague make a comeback? What do we need to know? Okay, this is not a good thing. All right. Okay. All right, so we have here, you have almost like agreement. It's almost like this is the healthcare system. Again, I talked about, something from the past is coming. That could be what that virus was in the previous reading that we just talked about. It does feel like this is something in the past. And again, this is all about the healthcare system. It feels like it's in the lab and then they're working on trying to find cures for the bubonic plague potentially. However, it does look like it does go out and it's supposed to be in the humanity. It's supposed to be like the next pandemic, so to speak. It does look like there will be some sort of new virus that comes out from this bubonic plague. So it does look like there will be a big thing coming. Again, I talked about, it looks like they have a virus already in the vaccine. So it does look like, again, this bubonic plague, it looks like they're working on it in the lab, so to speak, and they're trying to find a vaccine, and they already have it set up. I think scientists, it feels like scientists and doctors and medical professionals, feels like to me, but they already are aware that could be the next pandemic, and so it looks like they're trying to take it a step ahead. How can we prevent the next one, so to speak? All right, so if we had COVID in the past and another pandemic is raving again, will we survive the next one? A lot of it is, the reason why I'm asking the question is because what I have been seeing lately is that a lot of us, COVID-19 in general, has a tendency to almost like hurt us, so to speak, because our respiratory system, our upper chest area, seems like it does do a lot of damage. So let's take a quick look at that as well. Now, keep in mind, I'm not a medical professional, and so if you want COVID advice, you can find the link in below from CDC. All right, so spirits and angels, tell me about this. Well, we survived okay, here again, this card came out the first time I read the question, so this is pretty significant. Me included and everyone else who has survived COVID, will we survive the next pandemic? Okay. It looks like, again, it feels like there will be a lot of, you guys need to save up. It's almost telling me like you guys need to save your mask, save your money, save up, because it does look like it may be happening. It may come sooner than we all think. Again, it does feel like because of our and this is weird. This is kind of weird, so to speak. It feels like we feel young. Like for some of us who survived the next pandemic, you're meant to go forward because you have a purpose to relive the next experience and the next physical experience. It does feel like for some of us we won't be going there, but it does feel like most of us will be going forward. We will survive the next pandemic, and that's very good. And we probably, like, I'm not saying like this is, if you feel like you want to take the vaccine, go ahead, take the vaccine. I'm not telling you can or cannot. It does feel like even for some of us who don't take the vaccine, we'll be okay as well. So if you're a little icky whether or not you should or should not, maybe that may be a confirmation if that's something that you were looking for as well. This is pretty interesting to say the least. All right, will we experience another pandemic more than once in our lifetime? So that's another question for a whole nother scenario. So let's take a look at that. Will we experience another pandemic more than once in our lifetime? Okay. All right, so it looks like, if anything, it looks like a lot of us won't be here to see the next pandemic. However, it does feel like if you were, you'll be looking at it from like a spiritual level. Like almost some of us will, but it does feel like for some of us, we will be looking from the spiritual realm saying, oh no, like that kind of reaction. But for some of us, it does feel like, again, the Ace of Swords, we do have, one of us will be able to experience, a lot of us, I feel like us as a collective and as a whole, we will be able to experience one more pandemic after this. It does look like there will be two. But again, we do have the 2 green, and then we have like the stored. Well, tell me one more. So it does look like to me there will be another pandemic that all of us are going to end up experiencing. And so I love you guys, and I do hope that you aren't offended by what I said. I mean, I'm not saying any of us are gonna pass over early or whatnot like that. I'm just reading what the cards are telling me, so I do hope you guys are not offended. I love you all, and I wish nothing but the best. So do not take any offense to it. I love you. Okay. So for the next question that we're going to be looking at is, what are the long-term effects of COVID-19 according to Tarot? So let's just put your protection spell on. Just make sure you feel protected, you are protected, and you'll be okay. All right, I will be doing like a protection meditation. If you guys do want something like that, I'm more than happy to do that. All right, so what are the long-term effects of COVID-19 according to Tarot? Spirits and Angels tell me. Now, please keep in mind, I'm not a medical professional. Okay, I heard something with chess. Again, that's no brainer. That doesn't take a rocket science to know that, but that's what my guys are telling me. So we're gonna use my my Chaco Wisdom deck that we're gonna be using. We're gonna kind of get more of an in-depth view of how much it would affect the human body as a whole. So let's take a look. Spirits and Angels tell me, what are the long-term effects of COVID-19 according to the Tarot cards? What do we need to know, Spirits and Angels? Tell me. What do we need to know? What are long-term effects of COVID-19 to the body? What do we need to know about? I heard gallbladder, so something with gallbladder might be a big thing. Yeah, okay. Again, it does look like it's all going to be in the stomach. This is pretty interesting. Something with diagram. It does feel like, for a lot of us, it's interesting. All right, so it's really here. We have the 3 solar plexus. So if you guys ever worried about whether or not, like, the long-term effect of COVID-19, one thing to definitely specifically work on is just solar plexus, which is something you guys can definitely work on. On my playlist section in my video, you scroll down to the homepage of my YouTube channel, and I give you guys recommended videos for solar plexus. So if you guys want to know what kind of meditation to use, go there and figure out what one you like. But it does feel like it's something with the gallbladder here. Yeah, it does. Yeah, because gallbladder is in the yellow for the solar plexus. It says something with stomach, liver, pancreas, small intestine, spleen, abdomen, sternum, and back from the 12th thoracic vertebrae to the first lumbar vertebrae. So what it's really talking about is like how much it affects your body, at least from the diagram down. It does look like it's more in the stomach issue rather than the respiratory, which is quite interesting to say the least. We have here, you need a strong foundation. So your body needs to be healthy for the next pandemic. So make sure that you are in shape, and that, for some of you guys, I feel like you've been restricted because whether you're with somebody who doesn't believe the pandemic is happening, you do need that sort of independence away from that person. So when you're seeing how they are and how they're acting, so just be aware of that as well. And we do have the divine intervention, and it's reversed, which tells me that you gotta ask for protection from your guides, and they will protect you. So this might be another thing that you might want to focus on if you want to know the long-term effect of COVID-19 according to my tarot cards, and my guides. We do have here, you need to manifest health and happiness. That is something that you all need to focus on, something you should be focusing on going forward. Also put words around your, like, it's telling me here that one good thing that you guys can focus on is take like a piece of tape and write the word love and put it on things like plants and stuff like that. And so you can have more love in your home. Be around people who tell you they love you. Don't be around people who are very negative, because that's what's going to keep you down. We have here as well, we have the Queen of Wands, which tells me here that just stand your ground and everything will be okay. Stand your ground. Because remember that little baby that was on the horse, and we were talking about it earlier, the sun card? Well, look at the sunflower. This is you all grown up. You are strong, independent, but also this is spiritual. So call upon your guides. Your guides are here to protect you. Again, you won't be, a lot of you guys when this pandemic happened, it won't take place in your country because you're at the time of this new pandemic, you'll be in a liberal country. Someone who's very liberal, progressive. We do have here again, I think you'll be okay. Just try not to stab yourself in the back too much. Your health is very important, so please keep that in mind going forward in terms of the long-term effect of COVID-19. All right, so now the next thing that we're going to be asking is, will COVID become the new normal, just like the influenza disease? So let's take a look. Will the COVID-19 become the new normal, just like the influenza or the flu? What's it's basically the same thing, just so you know. All right, so we have here, this is a big yes. So yes, this is going to become the new normal. So expect people to say, I can't come in today, I have COVID, that kind of thing. We have here, there's not going to be a lot of cures. There's going to be a lot of variations. And it's not going to be cured within the next this would be like 2023. There might be a potential for a cure with COVID-19 in 2024, or at least within the next 3 years. I feel like, if anything, what I have been seeing with COVID, and you guys check out more meta videos, I said that I feel like COVID ends around like late summer, early fall. But what the card is telling me here, it could be within the next 3 months. We get a vaccine as well, which I did say April was a good month for that. But if that doesn't happen, it looks like because of the severity of the virus, it looks like the vaccine may no longer be functional for the new variant. And so they may have to postpone it. We might have to add another year on in terms of the pandemic lasting. So it does look like it will become the new normal. All right, so will COVID have new variants that will become deadly? So let's take a look at that. Will COVID-19 have new variants that will become deadly? What do we need to know about that, Spirit? Okay, so we have that card. Let me just take the little background look at that. Will COVID have a new variant that will become deadly or lethal? What do we need to know about that? Okay. All right, so we have my vaccine card, which is significant here. So it does look like there's something. We have here, there's a potential chance that's a challenge to this question. If there's a potential chance for one of the variants to become super deadly. We have here, it looks like 1, 2. It looks like 2. Again, the card keeps coming up, so this must be very significant. We do have here 2 viruses. Looks like 2 variants were defeated. However, or it was left behind. They thought that these 2 variants wouldn't be like any significance, and that it was left behind, and that these 3, like the 3 variants, look like they will be vaccinated or they will have some sort of cure for them. But it does look like the last 2 will be the breaking ones, the ones that will walk away, almost like humanity doesn't think that they exist anymore, but they really do. They're just in hibernation mode, so to speak. We have here as well as the Wheel of Fortune, so it's not time for this new variant to come out and become deadly. It is not the time right now. We do have here as well, we do have the Page of Story, which this is my vaccine card, which is pretty significant, considering our 3 cards all fell on this card. All right, so yeah. So we have here as well, it's not time right now, but you see here, look at this woman. This is actually kind of weird. I never noticed this, but look at this woman flying. Like, it's almost like the spirit, but the guy, if you watch him from behind, he looks like he's crying, right? And look at all those things. It's right now it's reversed, which means that a lot of these people who are normally supposed to like pass away, so to speak, it looks like a lot of them will be saved with this new treatment or whatever that may be. We do have here as well, though, we do have the hospital card reverse. This is in the near future. This is talking about the future now, right? The new variant. The hospital is reverse. However, it looks like if the healthcare system does not change, it does look like there will indeed be another version or deadlier version of the COVID-19 pandemic, or in terms of the new variant. So it does look like it will be pretty deadly. Will the corona have a cure by the time 2030 comes around? I did see a cure. I did say about 2024, but I'm going to use my Uno cards and see if we can get like a potential year and see if we have a cure by then. So let's take a look. I will be checking the live chat in a moment. I'll just trying to get through all my questions, and then I'll jump right in, okay, guys? I'm not ignoring you, I promise. All right, Spirits and Angels tell me, will Corona have a cure by the time 2030 comes around? What do we need to know? Will the coronavirus have a cure by the time 2030 comes around? Okay, a card flipped. I don't know where it went. Okay, looks like it's lost. Do you see any black? No, I can't find it. All right, that's fine. We have here 7-4. We have 74. It could be in 7 to 4 years, 7 to 4 months. It does look like, if I didn't be talking about 2074, right? It could be far out in the future when we're 74 or something like that. This could mean 74% chance of us getting a cure. So let me just ask, is this in 2020, 2074 spirit for the cure, or is this like, what does this mean? What does this mean? Is this the cure? Is this the percentage? Is this the year? What is this? Okay, I heard in my ear it's the year. So maybe, again, this could be talking about when coronavirus is officially eradicated. It does look like it will not be 2030. It looks like it will be 2074, which is pretty significant, I guess. We answered all those questions, so it looks like we finally got done with all those questions. So yay! Some of you just answered some of your questions as well. All right. So I know someone asked a question about the pandemic, so this is the last question, then we'll end. Patty. Hi, hello, Chris. I hope you are doing well. Thank you, Patty. I would like to know if COVID will lessen by the summer, and will the COVID vaccine be mandated even for people that will have medical exemptions? We'll see what we can get through, and we'll just keep that in mind. All right, so Spirits and Angels, tell me about that. When will the COVID-19 pandemic, the current one in 2021, and the last time we got this was late summer, early fall? Is there any time frame that you would like to give me now, or just going into the next year? Okay, that's weird. I card flipped. Can I do that card? All right, they want me to put it back in. All right, Spirits and Angels, tell me about this. All right, ooh, this is good. This is good. Okay, we have here vaccine. Again, we have the virus leaving, so it does look like there will be the vaccine. We will have at least this pandemic, we will have the vaccine. So it does look like, I heard April again, so it looks like April we will have the vaccine. And then we have here Joe Biden. He's the one who's going to take the credit for this vaccine. And again, the reason how I know it's Joe Biden, a lot of you guys know this is my Democrat card. And look at the JB, it's Joe Biden. So it does look like Joe Biden will take credit for this vaccine. And people are going to be very happy with government. They feel like they can get back to their normal life. It feels like this is early spring. So it does look like, if anything, it does feel like this will be pretty significant. I love you guys. Thank you, Jazzy. Thank you all for coming. I'm going to be answering all your comments. I'll be trying to get through as many as possible. I do have a lot, but I am going to try to get through all of you guys. If you have emails me, I will certainly email you as well. The last part of the question is, excuse me, will people with medical exemption be exempt from, will there be a vaccine? Will a vaccine be mandated for everyone to take? It looks like a yes, but it doesn't look like it may be a constitutional crisis, so to speak. We have here's the incumbent, here's you. Then we have here, it's almost like it's like an infringement on people's rights. And it doesn't look like it's going to pass in the courts. It feels like they will try, but it won't fly in the courts. So it looks like you'll be fine. Don't worry about it. All right, guys. I love you all, and thank you so much for coming on. I really appreciate it. I hope that this brings you some sense of clarity, love, and calmness into your life. I will be talking to you guys tomorrow for another live reading. Ronald Reagan. I found some really interesting similarities between Ronald Reagan and Donald Trump, and how that really affects the United States going forward, because you know Ronald Reagan, a lot of you guys aren't aware of that. Ronald Reagan had a pandemic as well, except it was kept under wrap. And so it's pretty significant to say the least. But anyway, I'll be talking about that tomorrow, and we'll do some tarot cards reading for that. But I love you guys and have a very wonderful night. Brenda, don't worry about it. You'll be fine. You won't be dying. I'm just like, think of it more as like I was channeling information. So it wasn't really like I was telling you guys that you're gonna die. It feels more like it feels more as if I was talking in the long future. So don't worry about it. If you think about dying, you're gonna manifest it. So don't manifest it. Manifest happiness, health, and wellness, and you'll be fine. Okay, Brenda? Love you guys. Bye.